Good afternoon from Southeast Asia. This will be episode or volume number 269 of the new versions of the alienanalprobe.com podcasts. See, I didn't screw it up. You thought I was going to. No, I'm not going to. Okay, shut up now. Okay, all tapes are copyright 2023 by stockphotosworldwide.com. You can go there, or you can go to alienanalprobe.com, or you can go to theyclaim.com. You can go to savethegaywhalesforjesus.com. No, I'm not shitting you. You really can. You want it again? You can give this to your friends. Save the gay whales for Jesus.com. No underlines, no dashes, just all one string. Save the gay whales for Jesus. I don't know why we have that. I had a friend one time. His IQ was 181. And I didn't understand a goddamn thing he ever said. Mine is way down there about 141. He was just a total mystery to me. But anyway, he used to say that all the time. And in what context, I don't even really know, because I didn't understand what he was talking about most of the time. But he said it all the time, and it sounded cool. It sounded like it was important somehow. Save the gay whales for Jesus. You know, we were having a conversation about some absurd, ridiculous thing that was going on in the world. He'd take a sip of coffee, and then he'd look very thoughtful for a minute. And then he'd say, yeah, save the gay whales for Jesus. I had no clue what it meant, but I thought it was important, so I bought the domain. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, so the last episode, we did a whole bunch of stupid Bigfoot stuff because I have this pet theory about Bigfoots and why we never catch one, why we never shoot one, why we never get the poo-poo. I have a theory about that, and I think it's a harebrained, stupid theory. I don't believe it for 1 second, but it's the only thing I can come up with that allows Bigfoot and chupacabras and things like that to exist. If not for this theory, I don't see any other way they could be real. Chupacabras, that's just made up shit, I think. I'm pretty sure. Some big dog had some really bad DNA, had a foot growing out of his ass or something like that. Something. Okay, it's not from space, all right. Big foots, I don't know, because the reports of them, the numbers are through the roof. Now, I happen to know that lots and lots of people are stupid, especially when they get in the forest. They're stupid. Okay? Stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. But they can't all be mistaking bears for Bigfoot. They can't be that stupid, right? Maybe they are. I don't know. But anyway, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Bigfoot reports all around the world. Hot places, cold places. I don't know about the desert. How about Hawaii? Are there any reports in Hawaii? No, fuck they ever get to Hawaii. If there is. I got to look at that now. Anyway, okay. So anyway, we're just going through some Bigfoot stuff, trying to see if any of the reports lend credence to my harebrained, really out there theory. And for if you didn't listen to the last one, the theory is that in order for big feet, what the hell is the plural of Bigfoot? It's Bigfoot, right? It's just Bigfoot with an apostrophe or something like that. I don't know. I like the S, Bigfoots. That's better. The only way that I can think of that nobody has ever caught one or shot one, or is that the aliens, quote unquote, the aliens, them, quote unquote, them, take care of them somehow. Somehow they take care of them. And they try to keep them away from people, but that doesn't always work. But if they ever die, they get old and die. I don't know. The aliens know it somehow with a tracker or something, a chip, an implant, and they go pick them up, take away the body. Something like that. It's got to be something like that. Otherwise, we would have dead ones all over the damn place. Okay, so we're going to go through a few more Bigfoot ones. I don't know how many's in this database. They kind of sort of shouldn't be in here. Well, yeah, they have to be because we have to look at everything. Okay, this is Jumonville Summit, Pennsylvania, 1975 times night. A group of people saw a tall, hairy creature that appeared to float over the ground rather than walk. See, I don't like that. I don't like that. I want to think that Bigfoots are just nuts and bolts, down-to-earth creatures, Missing link between us and the bears, something like that. I don't want to think that they can float around over the ground, but if they can, then you got to start thinking about the alien problem. There was a case in the last episode where somebody said he saw a Bigfoot and it had a big wide belt and a big gold-colored buckle on it. I think he said it had some buttons or something on it. And I'm thinking, now, wait a minute. That's not a primitive creature, Anti-gravity belt? And then there was another case where somebody said they saw some big foots and they were totally naked. Oh, I think these were dead. Something like they're dead or dying or something. I don't know. from a crash. And they're totally naked except they had like sandals on that had really, really, really thick soles. Anti-gravity boots? I don't know. I mean, we're speculating so far out there into the ether now that I don't know. Okay, so this is good that a group of people saw this, so it could be still mass hysteria. But yeah, okay. A group of people saw a tall, hairy creature that appeared to float over the ground rather than walk. Okay. Okay, a fog suddenly rolled in the area and the witnesses fled. I guess they're scared of the fog. Okay. They returned to find both the creature and the fog gone. Okay. That's it. That's all there is. Okay. If I was grading Bigfoot reports, which I'm not, we're grading alien reports, but if I was doing Bigfoot, kind of formally, how much credibility would I give that? I'd give it like one molecule from one grain of sand. I'd give it just as close to nothing as I could give it. Okay. But down here in the comments, they say, somebody says, somebody claims, they claim, quote, definitely a paranormal Bigfoot type report. Floating ability of otherworldly entities has been frequently reported. Okay, well, okay, but it's... Okay, whatever. I'm not going to pick that apart. Okay. What we're seeing here is a pattern of way too many cases, reports where there seems to be an alien component to this, or a high-tech alien technology type component to the whole Bigfoot story. That's a real mind bender. I mean, it is. There are lots of groups that go around sort of semi-professionally and look for these things. I mean, they got TV shows and they got this and that. They got all kinds of crap. They got clubs and I wonder how much I've never gone to their websites. I wonder how much they explore the notion, the vague notion that Bigfoot have anything to do with aliens. Or are aliens, or are, There was a report last episode where some kind of a saucer thing crashed. It was a cigar shake or something and cracked open, and there was a bunch of Bigfoots laying out there on the ground. No other aliens, no nothing, just Bigfoot. I think one was alive, or I don't know, right? So what that report suggests is that they are strictly aliens. But there are many, many reports where people say they saw the Bigfoot things hanging around with other alien-looking aliens, going in and out of their ships and talking to them and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's look for another one. Bigfoot. Oh, there's right there. Oh, we're staring at it right here. Near Miami, Florida. Okay, you wouldn't think of that as Bigfoot territory. January 1975, time is evening. A woman driving on the Florida Turnpike swerved to miss hitting a huge gorilla-like creature. Yeah. Few too many whiskey sours there, lady. Thinking she hit the creature, she got out of her vehicle. Why would you do that? That's a huge gorilla thing, and you think you hit it, and it's going to be pissed off, so you get out of your car. Oh, sir, would you like to exchange insurance information? And he just bites her head off, Thinking she hit the creature, she got out of her vehicle and stood face to face with the creature. This is a hard one to choke down. She stated that she feels the... Oh, whoa, this is interesting. The right eye skims ahead to see stuff. This is quite fascinating, this last line. This is the last sentence in the report. She stated that she feels the creature was trying to tell her it was hungry through telepathy. What the hell? Wouldn't that be something? You take it to, get a Big Mac. I would. No, I'm serious. If it wasn't going to kill me or eat me or both, goddamn right. I'd have, shit, yes. Put a sheet over its head or something, Maybe I got like a minivan I can lay down in the back. We'll just go through the drive-thru. What do you want there, Bigfoot? Yeah, like that. That's what it would be. and then the poor little intern, in the drive-up window, she gets a look at it. We got to do that. We got to do that. Oh my God. Think of the fun. Where can we get a really good suit? Oh my God. And we'll film that turkey. We'll put it on YouTube. He's just laying in the back, partially covered up. She's looking. She sees movement in the back seat. Under the sheet. And, he just flips it down for a second. I live for that stuff. I live for it. I hardly ever do it, but I think about it really more than is normal for a healthy human being. Okay, so that's the end of the story. She didn't say if she fed it or not. I mean, I'm tempted to say credibility or not, like I usually do, but these are Bigfoot stories, and we're not doing Bigfoot stories. If there's an alien something involved, flying saucer or something, then we'll grade it, but, there's no alien here. It's just a hungry Bigfoot. Why would it be hungry? Oh, wait, here's a comment. These comments are, I hate Windows. Come on. Okay. Comment. I think he means there are many other reports on file of an apparent psychic ability for the Bigfoot. Okay, of course there are. Yeah. They got reliability of source on this. On a 1 to 10 scale, where 10 would be God, 9 would be Jesus, 8 would be an angel, okay, of credibility. And they say the reliability on this is 8. Usually when they give a reliability of source, I cut it in half, so 4. I say 4 of 1 to 10. Okay, well, there's no alien component in here. Nothing. Okay. What else we got here? What else we got? God, see, we've done like, I don't know, 30 or 40 of these things, and we're barely even still at the top of the database. So. Okay. Here's Richmond Town, Staten Island, New York. Okay. Richmond Town. Okay. January 21st, 1975. 22:45, or pretty close to 11 o'clock that night. Mrs. D. Daly, a nurse, was driving to work when a large biped-like creature covered with long black hair walked in front of her car. Huh. They're kind of stupid, aren't they? What the hell's it doing in Staten Island? See, this... It didn't get there by walking, okay, I'll tell you that. It didn't get there by walking. It had to be dropped off, or it has to be made up. See, that plays right into our theory. It had to be dropped off, or it had to be made up. Or I guess it could swim, from what, New Jersey? I don't know. Crawled up on the beach, walking around. Okay. Driving to work when a large biped-like creature covered with long black hair walked in front of a car. Slamming on the brakes, she stopped within 6 feet of it. People say 6 feet, they probably mean 10 or 12. It was 5... Oh, what the hell? It was 5'8" or 5'10" tall, with a necklace head and arms that hung slightly in front of its body. At the site, 2 four-toed footprints, 10 inches long, were found in the snow the next morning. What the hell? It's got to be like a 10-year-old. Okay, the comments, another reliability of source again is an 8. Why didn't she have a dash cam? God dang it. 1975. This case appears to be more of a Bigfoot hairy biped encounter. However, it was in the original Humcat files. That's why it's in here, because it was a part of a Humcat report. Some researchers like Don Johnson from the UFO cat project tend to include all hairy biped encounters in the humanoid reports files. This guy says he does not include them all. There are just too many. Yeah, I agree. There are hundreds of thousands. And they go back 1,000 years, or maybe more. So every single one of them is a mistake or made up, right? Every single one is a mistake or made up. I don't know. With some tiny little bit of real evidence, I could probably get on board with hunting Bigfoot. I'm not there, because I'm still not a believer of them. But give me something, throw me a crumb, I could be there. Okay, and apparently it ran away or something. They're really bad at the endings on these things. Come on, cursor. Okay. God, there's a lot of Bigfoots in here. Northeast Pennsylvania, March 28th, 1975. Looks like 75 was a good year, too. Midnight, 2 local investigators were driving around the area in the hope of catching a glimpse of several reported Bigfoot-type creatures in the area. Okay. I mean, I'd love to put on a suit and go muck around. I used to be a logger. We used to make footprints, in mud and stuff like that. People would find it, and I don't know how many of them believed it. Probably not too many, I don't know. It was fun, though, anyway. I'd love to have a suit and just go walk around, but you know damn well you'd be shot. Some yahoo would shoot you. You know, cops would shoot you. Hell. Okay, so they had a bunch of reports. They're driving around looking for Bigfoot. They suddenly observed two tall, dark figures with red glowing eyes approaching their vehicle as if attempting to circle around the witnesses. Oh. The investigators managed to snap several pictures before fleeing the area. The pictures only vaguely show the eyes, no other information. That's the problem. That's the problem. Well, 1975 camera tech was shit. Now it's good. Now it's really good. You can shoot at astronomically high ISOs in the dark. Even without a flash, you can still get usable images. I mean, I know these guys are using these kind of cameras, but somehow they just never seem to connect. Close, you know. Close only counts in horseshoes. Okay, this is why I've stayed away from it. The whole, they're so elusive. I mean, as elusive as a purple unicorn with two schlongs, you know. Talem Bin, South Australia. See, Australia. June 1975, time is night. At least 3 independent groups of motorists described seeing... Okay, 3 independent groups. 3 independent groups of motorists described seeing a hairy anthropoid along the side of the road carrying what appeared to be a lantern in its hand. Okay, that's no missing link type creature. The figure was large in size and similar to a Bigfoot type of creature seen elsewhere. One group of motorists said they saw not only the figure, but also a light off in a nearby field. The saucer, it's the mothership. Another group said that as they passed the same spot, they observed a huge illuminated dome-shaped in the field. Dome-shaped object, I think they meant, in the field, possibly a UFO. See, this is playing right into my theory. Also, around this same time and in the same area, a truck driver with a load of sheep was passing through when the animals began a commotion in the back of the rig. Well, if it's a semi, he's not going to know it. He's not going to know what they're doing back there. If it's a single truck, you know, a regular truck, yeah, he might feel him running to and fro or something. He was pulled over to see what the trouble. He pulled over to see what the trouble was. He got out and saw a huge, hairy, anthropoid-like creature sitting on the top, trying to get at the sheep. Oh, sucking hell. That's heinous. Really? The hell? Okay, the driver got back in and took off at high speed. The commotion subsided, and when it was checked later, the wire on top of the truck had been torn, and there was one dead sheep. There was the vague appearance of big handprints and grip marks on the heavy wire mesh. Well, if it's a wire mesh thing, it would have been pretty vague. So see, this does not resolve itself. It looks really as though there's some kind of UFO involved here. Okay, they didn't fly there with their gargoyle wings. They had to get dropped off there. They had to get dropped off by the nearby UFO in the field. Okay, so let's just take that as a fact for 1 minute. Let's say that's what happened. Okay. Why do they have to jump onto a livestock truck and rip open the top, or try to anyway, to get a sheep? Did they really not have food in the flying saucer? If they're aliens, wouldn't they have a ray gun? You know, I think they all do. It's like a law, you know. And they could like put the driver to sleep and then at their leisure take out 50 sheep. Or, see, it just doesn't add up. It just doesn't. Hell, no notes. Well, at least it's associated with a UFO, so that means we got to grade it. Well, there's 3 groups of drivers. Okay, I can give them 3 grains of sand, 1 for each group. Okay. Don't know. I don't know. I swear to God, regular aliens are easier to figure out. Okay, Gibsonia, Pennsylvania, July 1975 times night. Witnesses saw an 8-foot tall creature with large green eyes peering into the window of a trailer. Like what? Like a travel trailer, in a trailer court, something like that. Claw marks were found high on the screen door, and 3-toed footprints were found near an abandoned tunnel in the area. Okay, witnesses, plural. See, it's just very vague, and it's very vague. The Bigfoot reports are much more vague than the alien reports. I don't know why. Okay. Okay. Walnut Creek, California. Oh, okay. October 1975, time is night. Independent witnesses encountered what was described as a fearsome, winged, gargoyle-like creature that at one time was seen perched on a tree and was later seen perched on a roof of a house. Oh, I like that. Oh, God, I want to see one of those. The gargoyles are much more interesting than Bigfoot. You got that movie. You got Jeepers Creepers. Oh my God, that was a great. I think there was 2 of them, at least 2 of them. Jeepers Creepers. Oh, it's a fun movie for the babysitter late at night. Put that out somewhere where she'll find it when she's home alone. And the carpet sharks are put to bed. They've been asleep for 2 hours, and you're not coming back till 5 in the morning, and it's dark, and maybe the circuit breakers are accessible only to you, and you flip off some, so she's only got a tiny desk light going still, And then you get one of those things, you can buy them in Japan. You probably buy them anywhere now, but we used to get them in Japan. They're a little box. And you just get in the vicinity of someone and turn it on, and it jams all cell frequencies, and they can't call anybody. But the problem with them is they let's say they advertise an effective distance of 30 feet. Well, no, say more like 5. So you got to buy a really big one to be able to knock out, like half a house, something like that. It's got to be a big one. It's got to be a big one, an expensive one. You're going to have $700-800 in this thing, but you can carry it around. It can go in a backpack. If you go in a coffee shop and people are loud, talking on the stupid goddamn phone because they're imbecile hillbilly pieces of shit from the province, just flip a switch. Suddenly it's quiet for as long as you want. Anyway, you do that to the babysitter. She can't call her mom. Then she's watching Jeepers Creepers. She's watching Jeepers Creepers. Oh, I got to make sure the circuit for the TV is on. Okay, that's a little desk light and the TV. That's all it can have running. And she can't call her mom, can't call her friend, can't call 911. And then you find something that makes the sound of big flapping wings. And maybe if you want to go full Monty on this thing, okay, you get a wireless mic, they're cheap. You get a Bluetooth speaker, they're cheap. You put the speaker like attached to, like you put it on a window, on the outside of a window. Even inside, she's not going to know where that. She's not going to go looking for it. And you just start that flapping of the wings, Oh, and the Jeepers Creepers thing, I think, didn't it make a sound or something? It sang a song, right? It sang the Jeepers Creepers song. So you start playing that really quietly, so quietly that she can't tell if it's the TV or is it coming from the back pantry. I mean, you could put her right into the ER. Oh, God, that would be funny, wouldn't it? You could videotape that, put that on YouTube. Then you got to move because parents would sue you, but what the hell would be worth it? Just funny. Evil is as evil does. Okay. Okay, so the independent witnesses, plural, got this thing. It's a gargoyle sitting on, it's perched in a tree, then it goes over to a house, roof of a house. It had huge gray wings and was able to glide silently without flapping its wings. Oh, now that's interesting. Because that's very interesting. There are many, many, many reports of alien something, creepazoid something things that have wings. And in a lot of cases, they fly. Okay, here's a typical scenario. People are driving down the highway. And it's night. And they see something up ahead. And they 30, 40 feet from it, they get stopped. And they're looking at it. And it's an alien, something kind of a thing with wings. And they look at each other for a while. And alien's saying, "Do you feel lucky, punk?" And your wife is screaming. You got to backhand her 3 or 4 times. Shut her the fuck up, No, you can't do that because she'll shoot you. You got her 40 caliber Glock, She'll plug you 4 or 5 times, and you'll deserve it. And then what happens is the alien thing with the wings, it looks up, okay, I'm going to fly now. I'm going to fly, and it lifts off the ground, and its wings, very, very typically, its wings are flapping. But they're flapping very slowly, and they're not usually very big wings in the first place, not big enough to support the weight of that thing. And the wing movement almost seems like it's just a sort of a unconscious reflex. And it goes up and flies away, and maybe the wings are kind of sort of twitching or, not enough to make it fly. So the whole point is that it does not appear to be relying on its wings at all, not even remotely, to fly. It's got some other anti-gravity thing, something that makes it fly, not the wings. But, it evolved from things that had to fly. So when it is starting to fly, it just can't help itself. It just starts flapping those wings a little bit. Even though it knows it's stupid to do so, it does it anyway because it can't help it. Humans have things like that we do. I mean, not wings, but, some other shit that I can't think of right now. But think about it for a minute. You'll think of it. So this is a very interesting statement. It says it had huge gray wings and was able to glide silently without flapping its wings. Okay, like something else was holding it up. And it just had the wings out there just kind of sort of for the hell of it or something like that. It was taller than a man and had a very wide upper torso. Well, it wouldn't it? Because it has to have all the extra muscles in there like a bird to have once been able to fly. It also has a 15-foot wingspan and dwarfed a nearby eucalyptus tree as it flew over it. Okay, I have flown everything that flies almost. Every kind of strange, weird, experimental, weirdo thing. 15-foot wingspan, maybe. That would be the bare minimum of what you'd need because it says it's big. It's bigger than a man. 15 feet, maybe could get that off the ground. Maybe it's built like a bird, little tiny spindly bones and stuff like that. 15 feet, yeah, that might do it. Okay, interesting. This is an interesting report. I wish there was aliens in it because I would grade it then. I would take it into the fold, of alien reports, but there's not. It's just, well, it's not even a Bigfoot, really. It's a gargoyle, okay? God, I want to see a gargoyle. There was, I don't know, about 80, 90 years ago, there was a movie. What was it called? Gargoyle. That was the title of it. It was called Gargoyle. It might have been black and white. It was sold. I'm not sure. It might have been color. Guy and his daughter out in the desert. This guy's researching them or something like that. I can't remember what the hell he was doing out there. And they're driving, they had an old station wagon or something. They're driving on a dirt road out in the middle of the desert, Arizona or something, and the gargoyles come, and they eventually steal the girl. Her name is Diana. It's a great movie. God, it's a great movie. For that era, the effects were really, really good. Really scary. That's a good one for the babysitter, make them back to back. Do that one first, get her warmed up and scared, and then do Jeepers Creepers, Oh, God. She's going to the ER. All right, well, I like it only because of this line where it says it flew without flapping its wings, because that's been reported an awful lot of times, and in 1975, that was anything but common knowledge. That was virtually unknown. There's no database you could go to look that up and then copy it, So if we were doing Bigfoot, I would give this some sand. I'd give this like 10 or 15 grains of sand. All right. Okay, what do we got? Here we got Mosquito Lagoon, Florida. Why the hell would any self-respecting Bigfoot want to go to the swamps of Florida? 1976, time is night. During a rash of sightings in the area, maybe that lends a little credibility to my harebrained theory. They didn't evolve there. Well, hell, I don't know. Maybe they did. Who knows? Okay, time is night. During a rash of sightings in the area, which included disc-shaped objects. Okay, we got saucers. Triangular objects and large glowing globular objects. It's a cornucopia of objects. A witness, a foreign student, reported that while camped on an island in the intercoastal waterway, he encountered a small, 4-foot-tall, silvery entity. He reportedly took a Polaroid photograph of the humanoid creature. Several research organizations and one photographic specialist examined this photo, but no conclusion was reached concerning the validity of the entity. This large body of saline water is part of the Cape Canaveral Space Center. Okay. Polaroids can be faked. I used to think if it was a Polaroid, then that gave it really, really, really a lot of credibility. And no, it doesn't. They can be faked. They can be faked. They can be faked right out of the camera. I don't know the technique, but I've seen it done. Okay, so anyway, since there's aliens, we're going to grade it credibility or not. Maybe. Rash of sightings. Foreign student. Oh, wait a minute. Silvery. Oh, this doesn't even describe a Bigfoot. It's a 4-foot-tall silvery entity. But it's in the Bigfoot database. It's in somebody's Bigfoot database. What the hell? Okay. Well, I don't care then. I actually give it 3 grains of sand. Okay. Man, we aren't even scratching the surface of Bigfoot stuff in here. How's our time doing? Yeah, we're okay. Salyer, California, January 1976. Time is night. 21-year-old Wendy Allen stepped out onto her back porch and nearly collided with 2 bluish-white glowing oval objects that were making a humming sound over her parked car. Okay, today those would be drones. Below that, there were two huge luminous red orbs that just stared at her. Okay, much to her horror, remember Apocalypse Now, the line at the end or near the end, one of the greatest lines on earth, one word, no, two words. I've tried last 20, 30 years to mimic that. I can't do it. The horror. Oh, I love that. Okay, 21-year-old Wendy, she steps out, she's a glowing object, and then she sees two luminous red orbs that just stared at her, much to her horror. Those red glowing ovals were part of an 8-foot-tall man-like ape. She reported the sighting to Sil McCoy, a veteran Bigfoot researcher and chief fire inspector for the U.S. Forestry Service at Willow Creek. That's interesting. I worked in forest firefighting. I never heard of anybody who saw a Bigfoot, but a guy who is chief fire inspector, he must have heard 10,000 stories, probably from fire crews. And he must have esteemed that some of them were credible. And that, or maybe he saw one himself, I don't know, or thought he did. And maybe that's what set him off on that path of becoming a veteran Bigfoot researcher. I know that lots and lots of park employees, park rangers and things like that, are reporting Bigfoots. And of course they see bears and they see every kind of animal every single day. And they got names and numbers for all the bears, and so give me throw me a crumb. Throw me a crumb, maybe I'll be there looking for Bigfoot. Give me something more than I've got. Okay. There's no aliens here, so we're going to dismiss it. But why would they be hanging around somebody's car? Why? If you're trying to be aloof, left alone, why are you hanging around somebody's car? Well, they got the two glowing oval objects that were making a hovering sound over her parked car. Okay, well, I dismissed them there for a minute because they sound small, but certainly aren't Bigfoot frisbees, So maybe we are going to grade it. We didn't know what the opinion of Sil McCoy was. I wish he would have made a comment on the case. But, having not seen it himself, there's no hell that, people just see shit. Okay, grain of sand, because there's flying somethings in there. And this further seems to me be kind of sort of possibly tie Bigfoot to otherworldly UFO alien saucer type things, maybe. Okay. The connection, I think, there is strong, anecdotally anyway, between Bigfoot and alien saucer flying somethings. There's a pretty strong and established connection there. So that gives me hope for my theory that maybe the aliens, maybe the Bigfoots aren't directly managed or administered by the aliens, but there seems to be a pretty close relationship in a lot of different contexts. It truly does not appear to be the case that Bigfoots just evolved here. It just does not seem to, no, I'm not buying it. There'd be fossils. There'd be something that we could study. Even the aliens can't clean up every fossil on Earth, So I don't believe that the Bigfoot, maybe they've been around a really, really, really long time, 10, 20, 30, 40, 10,000 years, something like that, I don't know. But I don't think they were born here. I don't think they were naturally here. if they exist at all. Huh. Okay, here we go. Norfolk Fens, England. Oh, God, it's British. We got to translate from British. January 1976, time 23. Wait. No, that's nothing. I'm sorry. That's it. I didn't search. Sorry. Okay. Oh, God, this is long. Oh, my God, this is really, really long. And this will be the last one I'd be thinking. Helena, Montana. A lot of family there. Hated them. Hated them all. They're all dead. Fuck them. April 4th, 1976, time 0500, 5 o'clock in the morning. During a period of heavy UFO activity and mysterious cattle mutilations in the area, a 16-year-old local Ute. I got that stuck in my brain after my cousin Vinny. I can't say youth anymore. A 16-year-old local youth was looking out his second-story window, which provided a good view of the pasture to the east side of the house, when he saw a tall, hairy creature walking in the pasture. Maybe Uncle Bob. Oh, he's coming from the south. Okay. He said the creature was taking long strides, and his arms moved back and forth as a person's would. A lot of reports say that the arm movement, the counterbalancing of weight in their stride is a bit exaggerated from a human. Some don't mention that, some do. The creature did not appear to have a neck, but it was capable of turning its head. Well, it's got to have some kind of vertebrae, you know. I mean, it can't have a head sitting on a ball joint. Or could it? Oh, hell, I don't know. Maybe it could. What do I know? The creature did not appear to have a neck, but it was capable of turning its head, and it appeared to be looking around. Well, I would too if I was walking around human territory. Even being a human, I'm looking around, waiting for the bullshit from any quadrant. Except for its face, it was covered entirely with brown or black hair, about an inch to an inch and a half long. Okay. Youth was unable to describe the face. How far away is it? No, he's up in the second story. He's looking out on the pasture, so I don't know. I'm thinking 60, 70 yards, probably at least. Okay. The Ute was unable to describe the face, but said the forehead protruded out, then upward to a rounded head. Okay, like lurch. The nose looked pushed in. He didn't notice any ears. When the creature moved, it walked very smoothly without stooping, and did not appear to bend its knees much. There's a handful of cases where people say the aliens, not Bigfoot, but alien-looking things, are walking around, even running sometimes, and the legs are perfectly stiff. No, don't even know if they have knees. Maybe they just got breadsticks all the way down. I don't know, but there's no bending of the legs. And I'm trying to figure out, how in God's name do you step over a branch or a rock? You know, how's that going to work out for you? How did that evolve? I don't know. Maybe the legs it's not a bone, maybe it's cartilage, and they can bend, but they don't bend at a particular place. So if a rock comes up, it does bend somewhat to get over the rock, but you can't really see it because there's no bending at a knee, because there's no knee. Ah, God, I get a headache. The creature's back seemed to go straight down to below the butt. Huh? The creature's back seemed to go straight down to below the butt. Oh, I get it. Okay, without any curve at the small of the back. Like me. I got no butt at all. I got nothing. I got legs and a torso. That's it. My wife always thought that was weird. A lot of jokes that didn't always sit all that well, you know. Okay, Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to compare that. The Bigfoot experts could read this and say, "Oh, well, they all look like that." I don't know because I'm not into them. The youth estimated the creature's height at 8 feet. As the boy watched, the creature kept walking until it was directly east of the house, at which time, oh shit, a second hairy creature joined it. Waiting for it. The second one was about a head shorter than the first. Oh, the little woman. But just as wide, and the color was the same. At this point, the larger creature reached down and picked up something dark-colored, about the size of a bale of hay. Holy crap, what the hell is this? Something dark-colored, about the size of a bale of hay. Picked it up. Apparently right at the point where he met the other one. So the other one's waiting for him there with something that it sounds like it stove in its lungs, and it's gasping for life. Something was flapping from the ends of the object, which looked similar to a piece of dark plastic. The larger creature handed the object to the smaller creature, which carried it. Yeah, the little woman. Damn well. That's what I do too. Now, could you carry this, honey? My hand is a little bit sore, And they always do it. They always do it. Make you feel bad, but, you buy them a Mars bar, Okay. A little woman is carrying this thing that's flopping, fighting for its life. The larger hairy creature then started walking straight toward the house. Oh, shit, gonna go eat some humans. When it was within 100 feet of the house, it looked directly toward the window where the boy was watching. Oh, Jesus. The boy vaulted downstairs to wake his father, and the two returned to the window in not more than 2 minutes. But when they looked out, the strange creatures were gone. Son of a bitch. That's creepy shit. Later on... Oh, God, here you go. Here, I got you. I got you. Okay. Here, we're going to kill some people right now. We're okay. The whole babysitter scenario. Okay, the movies and the little hidden speaker with the rustling wings and all that shit. Okay, before you do this, you got a primer. You got to set it up. You set it up. Okay, you go to one of these places that's got fake newspapers. Okay, and you write up a little story, and they're real. They're real newspapers. They're just one-offs. They're one of a kind. You can get 1 or 2 or 10 or 100 or whatever. And they're really cheap. And you take a picture of your house, and you also get a picture of a blurry thing, like a blurry dark blob, like could be a Bigfoot. Not really, but it could be a Bigfoot. And you write up a little story, just 2 or 3 paragraphs about how 11 people on such and such a date, and you make that date the night before the babysitter arrives. Okay? A number of people, like 7. And one of them was a cop, one of them was a priest, one of them was a nun, one of them was a who else is trustworthy? I was going to say lawyer, but that fuck the whole story. It can't be a politician, it can't be the president. Who else is trustworthy in this fucking place anymore? Cops aren't. No, the priests aren't. Who the fuck? Who's trustworthy? Firemen. You got. Yeah, one of them was a fireman. Okay. No, 3 of them were firemen. Were firemen. 3. Yeah, they're all witnesses. 3 firemen, witnesses, and then you could have a cop. Some people still think that they serve and protect. And whatever. Okay, whatever. You got 7 witnesses. Okay, and they see the Bigfoot thing the night before the girl has to work. And they see it creeping around the house, okay? God, this is fucking good. And then it charges at the group, okay? And let's see, the cop, what does he do? He fires a shot in the air. And the firemen, they were there on a possible electrical fire call. So one of them had his axe out. Okay, so the fireman holds up his axe, And what else you got? One of them dances like a chicken or something. I don't know. And it scares off the Bigfoot. Okay, he runs away. Okay. And all the firemen and all these guys, they went to the newspaper and they reported it. Okay, that's how it made it into the newspaper. And then you got the fucking newspaper right there. You got it right there. And when she comes to work, after she's been there an hour or so, well, you're going to go in 10 minutes. But before you go, or no, you just leave it. Yeah, you don't even tell her. You just leave it on the coffee table. Yeah. And you got the picture of like your house on it. And the Bigfoot thing, the blurry Bigfoot thing is on there. That's an inset. And then you got a big headline and you say such and such a street. Okay, Bigfoot, such and such a street. And she's going to read it. She's going to fucking read it. And then you're going to get a call at your dinner party. And it's going to be just hysterical screaming. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I heard something. Oh, you got to have some security, some nanny cams in the house to record her when she reads. Fucking God. See, if I was Gates or anybody with money, Musk or anybody, I would not invest. I would not build rockets. I would not do a goddamn fucking thing with my life, except I would hire a team of, let's say, between 200 and 500 people to take every one of my ideas and go perpetrate them around the world and document them. That's all I do. Because what else is there in life except that? That's all there is. That's the only thing worthwhile in this entire fucking existence, okay? That's it. I would have between 200 and 500, and they would be loyal people. I'd pay them. Oh, God, I would pay them. $100,000 a year each. Nothing to Musk. And we would have some motherfucking fun. We'd put people in the hospital and probably kill a few, but what the fuck, it's in the name of comedy, I watch these shows sometimes. There used to be a lot of them on TV where people are doing stupid pranks here and there. And they're lame. They're fucking lame, stupid ass shit. They're just lame, motherfucking stupid shit. Now they got one of them's going around is somebody goes in an elevator and the lights go out and then there's a trap door and a ghost, goddamn something comes out and the lights come back on and the ghost is screaming. Well, that's pretty good, but it's not nearly as good as the shit I can think up, Not nearly as good. I can beat those fuckers hands down. I just pray for the opportunity, Really, I do. I pray to the Great Pumpkin every night. Please help me express myself. Great Pumpkin. And sometimes I see a vision of his answer. Not too often, but once or twice a year, he shows me a vision. And it's him, it's a vision of him. Big old jack-o'-lantern grin, evil-looking eyes, shit like that. And inside there's no goddamn candle, it's the fires of hell, all right? And I didn't know that fucking pumpkins had hands, but this one does. And he holds one up. And all you can see is one big finger covered in warts. It's the middle one. That's the answer to my prayer to the Great Pumpkin every fucking time, no matter what I ask him. I bet if I ask him, well, no, I'm scared to do that. If I ask him to, prove to me you're real, Great Pumpkin, cut off one of my feet, replace it with a chicken foot, just to show me you're real, because I don't fucking believe it. I don't think I'd get the middle claw then. That would really happen. So, We don't go pushing that boundary. Anyway, we could put so many babysitters in the loony bin. Then you got to support them. But what the fuck? You got the money of Musk, Fuck, 2 years, 5 years of getting therapy, coming back to reality. What the fuck? I'd pay for that. That'd be worth it. I'd YouTube that too. I would. I mean, sorry. Because I'm twisted and I have no prefrontal cortex at all. I don't care. I only care about fun. All right. But when they looked out, the strange creatures were gone. Okay, the boy vaulted downstairs to wake his father, and the two returned to the window in not more than 2 minutes. But fucking well it's going to be gone. But when they looked out, the strange creatures were gone. Okay, it's foregone conclusion. We knew that. Later on, strange tracks were found in the pasture. The boy was extremely shaken after the encounter. They say they included this case because it seems to deviate from your routine Bigfoot sighting. Well, not by a lot. So it's pretty mundane. It's kind of nice. I really like it that it says the boy was extremely shaken after the encounter. Okay, that means that something maybe really did happen. And I love that. That's what I like. I really feel for somebody. In one case, there was the Pascagoula case. Oh God, what was her name? Calvin and the old man and the young man. And supposedly they got taken into a saucer and probed. And the old man came out of it. It's like, well, shit happens, But the young man, he suffered the rest of his life. He could not resolve it. He could not come to terms with it. I think it pretty much ruined his life. He did not thrive as a human being after that. He could not handle it. And he tried. And the old man, God knows the old man tried and talked with him endlessly for years and years and years. Please try to come to grips with this. It's just the way it is, And the kid just couldn't ever. One very cool aspect of that story was that the old man got really old. And he got sick and he couldn't work anymore. And I don't know, his Social Security was probably $18 a month or something like that. The kid, whenever he could, would help the old man out for the rest of his life. The kid would pay little bills at the grocery store or pay his bar tab or something, whatever he could do, whatever he could afford. He felt very, very indebted to that old guy. Calvin and man, that was a real account, by the way, if you want to look at that Pascagoula. That one got so much sand in the bucket you can't even believe it. I give out a grain or 2 or 5 or a molecule or whatever. That one got pounds of sand because I studied that forever in minute detail. The old man, like I said, he came through it. He was okay. The kid, I have such incredible empathy for him. I don't know if he's still alive. The old man is dead. I don't know about the kid. I'm thinking he might have died also. Not too long ago, I think just a few years. My empathy for him was unbounded. I would have given anything to talk to him and try to accomplish what the old man couldn't. Just sit down, have a drink or two, loosen up, say, look, it's okay. I know a little bit about these things. It's okay. It happens. You're not the only one. Relax. Just take your overview of reality and back up a little bit and try to expand it so you see a broader overview. I would have spent incredible amounts of time trying to help him if I would have ever gotten the chance. I didn't know until just a few years ago that he had struggled that much. I knew he did in the beginning, but I didn't know until a few years ago that he struggled mightily his entire life. He just couldn't come to terms with it. it was so out of left field for him that he wasn't ready for it. He couldn't assimilate it. God, it was sad. It was really sad. I mean, there was probably a life ruined from that experience. But I'm, by the same token, I'm also pretty amazed at how the old man took it. You think it'd be the other way around, you know? The old man was much more philosophical about it. He had some struggles with it, but he was okay. He was 95% okay with it. The kid was 25% okay with it. He never came to grips with it. I saw an interview with him. I think it was just very closely before he died. I'm really sure he died. But I saw an interview with him. He was quite old, the young one. And he said he just never got over it. He kind of, you know, he came to terms with it as well as you could, but he never just got over it. Anyway, Pascagoula, I can't remember the year, 70s, I'm thinking, but I don't know. We covered it in here. Okay, so they looked out, creatures were gone. Later on, strange tracks were found in the pasture. The boy was extremely shaken after the encounter. And that, to me, gives a lot of credibility. I really wish this one doesn't say anything about any kind of alien anything. No lights, no nothing. I wish it did, because I would give it... Oh, wait, it does. It does. I'm sorry. Heavy UFO activity. So loosely we can tie this to possible alien somethings. Okay, I'm going to give it a lot. I like it. I'm going to give it a lot. I'm going to give it a gram of sand. I don't know how many grains it is. Probably like, I'm thinking 100, 150, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to weigh a bunch of grains of sand. A gram. I give it a gram. Okay. Nice story. Okay, I think we're pretty much out of time. Oh yeah, we're over. Jeez, God. Jeez. Diarrhea mouth. I just wonder. I wonder about one really stupid thing. It's the kind of thing that Howard Stern would wonder about, because he's a fucking jackass. And his brain it's fucked. I'm sorry, his brain is fucked. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe the whole fart man experience, maybe he breathed in too many farts. Something like that. He was fart man, if you didn't know that. That's what launched his career. Fart. F-A-R-T-M-A-N. Fart. And I think he breathed in too many farts over a period of time, and it whacked his brain somehow. Turned him into kind of a sociopath, he just doesn't fucking care. He just doesn't care. I wish I didn't. I care a little bit. I wish I didn't care at all. I try to take lessons from him, He's helped me a lot. He's loosened me up a lot. I hate him. I hate his fucking guts, If I saw him walking down, through a Denny's, I'd stick my foot out, trip him, But then I'd be hoping he invited me to sit with him, Fucking asshole. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? I was making a point. Howard Stern. Oh, yeah, I remember. Okay. Howard Stern would think about this. You got all these aliens running around, and when I named this website alienanalprobe.com, I thought it was a stupid thing. I thought it would be, roundly rejected, and people would say, why the fuck did you name it that? It doesn't have anything to do with alien anything. Okay, and then you go through 9,400 reports, and you realize it has really, really, really a lot to do with everything alien. They do really, really, really a lot of probing. Sometimes the witnesses don't really come right out and admit it, but they will say things like extremely intimate examinations that lasted 6 hours, and you're thinking, well, they're checking your pulse, right? Yeah, no, they fucking probed him. Okay. Okay, you don't have to probe somebody for 6 fucking hours to get a stool sample. That's not what it's about anymore. That's 30 seconds, tops. 6 hours is called fucking, So, okay, so that's a given with the aliens, between the aliens and the humans. That's a given. Okay. Accept it. Suck it up. It's, Now, you enter in the component of Bigfoots. And we're kind of leaning towards the notion that they hang around with aliens quite a bit, and they probably are aliens or something. There's some kind of connection there. Do the Bigfoots do any kind of probing? I don't know, really. Oh my God, yes I do. I remember one case. Lady said, Bigfoot raped her. I remember that case. I don't know if we've covered it in this series of the new versions of the AlienAnalProbe.com podcast. I don't know if we covered it in these, but I remember it from research decades and decades ago. I hope I didn't delete it because it was only the Bigfoot thing. Well, I got the master database. I could find it. Maybe I could. I'm not sure. So apparently, well, there's at least one where that was claimed. I seem to vaguely remember a few where some kind of hanky-panky shit was going on between Bigfoots and humans. Think about that. Bigfoot, they're fucking 10 feet tall, okay? I've never heard anybody talk about their shalong. I don't recall it. But you got to do the math. You're 10 feet tall. How big is your schlong? Well, it ain't 4 inches. Ain't Japanese. Oh, God. No, I fucking stepped in it, didn't I? Well, they don't listen to me anyways. I can see all my listeners from around the world. There's not one in Japan. So. How big would it be? Okay, do the math. I'm thinking, let's see, probably like 20 inches. 20 inches, like a monster zucchini, Okay, so if the big Feetfoots are doing some probings, how are they getting that done exactly? Howard could really, elaborate on this. Howard, this is something for Howard, not for me. I want to give this idea to him and just let him run, see what he does, because then I would be entertained also. But I don't know. It's just one of those things you think about, from time to time. I don't know what it's. I don't know why you would, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Oh, maybe I am. I don't know. Okay, that's it. We're done. Holy shit. Okay, I'm going to, probably the next one, I'll continue the Bigfoot thing. Just, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I'm kind of leaning that direction because I've now worked up about 0.7% of interest in them, which is 0.6% more than I had a week ago. I don't know. If we ever get done with these remaining 8,000 alien reports, maybe we'll start doing Bigfoot reports. I don't know. I don't know. All right. I see Franklin's back there. That fucktoid. We're still down on that goddamn Titan II and looking at the Titanic. We wanted to prove it could be done after the Titan I. Turned into a marshmallow. I'm sorry. I'm sad for the people who died. But I'm pretty happy the CEO died because he fucking deserved it, because that thing was poorly built in about 100 different ways. People told him, don't fucking do it, but he knew everything. And the people who went, they should have done a teensy tiny little bit of due diligence. I don't think they did any at all. I sure in the goddamn hell wouldn't have gone. But they did, and they died. A lot of people have asked me, I worked underwater for years and years and years and years, every kind of situation, raised 131 wrecks. And we had a number of cases where some divers were people we were called out to rescue, had the opposite happen to them. They were down deep for a long time, and then suddenly they went up. And that was explosive bends. That was the exact opposite of what happened to the Titan people. They were at 1 atmosphere down there, and then suddenly they're at 300 atmospheres or whatever the fuck it was at that depth. I can't remember. So that's an opposite thing. But a lot of people have asked me, well, you know about these things. How do you think they died? I speculated for a long time in the beginning that I thought there was a teensiest little chance, like about a 0.2% chance that they lived for as much as 5 or 10 seconds. 15 outside. It depends on how it imploded. If it began to crack and crumple, God, I hope it didn't. I hope it didn't start doing that. I hope it was instantaneous. But if it started to crack and crumple, and they started to get some leaks, they would have known they're fucked. They would have known it. They would have been about 94% sure they were fucked. And the terror would have been beyond comprehension. Okay, so let's say they got some leaks. And then suddenly they had a big leak, even pencil size. At that pressure, that would have been a big fucking leak. And what would have happened was that the water would have come in, started to fill up. It would have compressed the air. They would have, in a very short time, they would have ended up at the top of the chamber trying to get air. The eardrums would have blown out, so they'd be dizzy and sick. The cold water hitting them would have shocked them to hell. And so they're at the top of this thing, and they're gasping, trying to get air. And at 300 feet, at a pressure of 300 feet, so 10 atmospheres, they were at however many, 300 atmospheres or something. But when it got to the point where they were at 10 atmospheres, the oxygen becomes toxic, and it poisons your body. So even if you can get air, it's going to poison you. And I can't remember what the symptoms of that are. We studied it in one of the commercial classes. I can't remember. It was like, I can't remember. It was horrible. Anyway, it was not nice. So you're breathing and breathing, and you're getting plenty of oxygen, but it's toxic. It's a toxic gas now at around 10 atmosphere. And so that's killing you. The cold is killing you. Your eardrums would have flooded, the inner ears would have flooded with water, so you're sick. You might be throwing up. You're going to be dizzy. You're not going to know which way is up or down. You're going to know you're dying, so you're going to be panicked, maybe screaming for your mommy. Some of them probably would have passed out and just sunk to the bottom of the chamber. Some of them would have held on to something and tried to stay up there, kept breathing. Depending on how fast it came in, how fast the pressure increased, it could have collapsed lungs to such an extent that you couldn't pull in a breath anyway. In that case, you would suffocate. So you'd be conscious for 60 seconds, or a minute and a half, 90 seconds maybe. So that's the worst case. That's the worst case scenario. The best case is probably what happened. I doubt that there were any leaks. I don't think there were any leaks. My sense just tells me there weren't any leaks. It was just a ka-chunk, about 0.3 seconds or so. Less than that, I think, probably 0.003 seconds or something like that. It just went ka-chunk, gone. You're dead. You did. It would have mangled bodies to such an extent and so quickly that you would not have felt a thing. There would have been no warning, no fear. It would have imploded faster than the senses could have sent the signal to the brain that something terrible was happening. And you wouldn't have known it. You would have had no warning at all, unless there was some initial little creak or something, or maybe a big creak. And then half a second later, bam, you would have registered that big creak, groan, whatever. And you would have thought, oh, fuck. It's like when you're in an airplane, you're, 3,000 miles out over the ocean, a big international flight, and you hear some weird sound and you think, oh, God, oh, really? Is that the beginning of some fucking shit? And you're dead, So I think there's a 99.98% chance they felt nothing, had no warning, had no suffering. But there's that 0.2% chance that it could have been horrible to one degree or another. So anyway, people ask me that all the time, and that's just speculation because I have no experience with, first of all, with things that deep. Or devices like that. No, I just don't know. But I know the general physics of how stuff works down there, and that's my speculation, and I think it's pretty accurate. Anyway, don't go see the fucking Titanic. It's not worth it. Watch the video. Yeah, it's not the same, but when the video ends, you're still alive. Okay. And it'll be a long time, but there will be more tours. There's money to be had there, so people are going to figure out a way. The different various governments will make them subject to far more stringent standards, and they'll have to get signed off. And there probably still will be accidents. I don't know. But I think the cost will get so prohibitive that let's see, these things were, what was the ticket price on these things? $250,000, I think, per seat. The ticket price is going to go up to $4 million, probably. But there will be people pay it. What the fuck? We can only hope Gates goes, I'll chip in for that fuckhead. Okay, so done. We're done. All right. Thank you very much. And now we're really over. And good evening. And good night.